The Colts, well, they won the coin toss and they want the football. Chad Simpson waits for Jay Feely to send it his way. 60 minutes to Miami. Which team will it be? Simpson, who had one run back for a score this year against Jacksonville, has a little seam, and he's out past the 30. A solid run back of 33 yards. So look, they gave the Jets in their first matchup this year. They were double tight end the whole game long. Well protected. Manning able to fire it, and the pass is caught. A diving catch by Reggie Wayne. That was Lowry on the coverage and Kerry Rhodes in the area, and it goes for 13.
What a way to start the game for the Indianapolis Colts. On the outside, it's an out and up, and then he comes back. It's still covered pretty well, but Peyton Manning makes a perfect throw. Look at the fake. They want the Jets to think that they're going to go deep every time they get single coverage. Excellent throw by Peyton Manning.
And that was Lowry, not Revis on Wayne that time. Lowry starting instead of Lito Shepard today. Just a coach's decision.
Jim, they went with 2 tight ends because they want the extra protection to give him more time.
First down, it is 2nd down and 8, and they go shotgun. Manning looks the middle, and that is Jim Leonard who knocks it down, denying Gian Robinson the football.
Well, a little different change up for the New York Jets. They throw it inside to Robinson. This is not where Peyton Manning wants to go. Jim Leonard is all over it. He wanted to throw it short to the same side to Dallas Clark, but Darrelle Revis covered Dallas Clark that play.
3rd and long. Austin Collie comes in for the Colts. Extra receiver, extra DBs. Ihedibo and Coleman for the Jets. Need to get to the New York 47 for a first. And Manning facing the blitz, and he goes down. He is smothered by David Harris.
Rex Ryan said, "We are coming after Peyton Manning." I know a lot of teams say it. I guess I said to you, Jim, I got to see it to believe it. They couldn't get to him in the first game, but this is a new look. Only 4 defensive linemen active for the Jets. It's about the linebackers and defensive backs. That's how they're going to get to Peyton Manning if they do today. Did that time.
Pat McAfee, 22-year-old rookie punter. New customer, according to his coach. Sends this one down to Jericho Cotchery, who makes the fair catch. Mark Sanchez and the Jets break huddle. Sanchez missed only 1 game this year with injury. This is his 18th NFL game as a rookie, trying to do something that's never been done in this league before. Take a team to the Super Bowl. Jets' first snap goes to Thomas Jones. Of course, we know Sean Green's on the way after back-to-back 100-yard performances. David Clowney right up to the right. And they go run again, and it's stuffed by the Colts defense for no gain. Brad Smith in the Jets lineup as they face 3rd and 6. And Mathis had a hand on Sanchez, who got the pass away over the top of the defense, and a catch by Cotchery. How in the world did that pass end up so precise as Mathis almost stripped the ball?
Well, it was precise, and it was very dangerous when you're being pulled on to throw the football down the field against this defense. Lucky to get away with it.
Picked up 14 and a first down. They no-huddle it. And just driving ahead for a couple yards is Sanchez.
They no-huddled it because they were not going to take a chance and give this play up in case it was incomplete on the sidelines.
They were concerned it might be challenged. I believe it was going to hold up had that ever been the case where it had been reviewed. Look at Cotchery, 1 foot. Did he drag the second one?
Yes, he did.
You can see him kick it up.
But still a good job by the Jets, not knowing for sure they give up the first down with the quarterback sneak.
And they picked up a couple. Sean Green enters for the first time, and he gets the handle. And the rookie from Iowa.
And Sean Green breaking tackles. That's how you get big plays with the run game.
Second most in 2 postseason games behind Dwayne Thomas of Dallas. For a rookie running back who's going to try to pick up the first, and he squeezes through a tiny opening, and he has the first down at the 42. Sean Green. Boy, wasn't a whole lot of room there, but he found enough.
I think what surprises everybody, Jim, we talked about it some last week. Even though he's big and you say, oh, this is a straight ahead runner who tries to overpower you, what coaches tell us that he looks for those holes and can make big plays. And that was a good cutback that time by him to get the first down.
Yes, that wasn't about power right there. That was a beautiful cut, and that's a second third down conversion by the Jets on their first series. Sanchez's pass caught by Edwards, who's running into the secondary down to the 21. Braylon Edwards for 20.
When people throw the ball against the Colts, they do a lot of one-step drops. This is a quick play action, but Mark Sanchez hits right away. Plant the back foot and throw it in there. And what do you expect if you're the defender playing the Jets? Well, you're expected to run in that situation. So there's a little gap. Sanchez right on target. Braylon Edwards catches the football with his body.
Now at the Colts, 21. Let's back it up at just a yard where they spot it. They send Richardson out to the left side. Green still in the backfield, and it's Green. Tripped up for a moment, and then 3 or 4 Colts collide. First hit by Gary Bracken and a loss of 2.
Well, what they did, the Jets sent Richardson out of the backfield, hoping the Colts defense would expand a little, but it did not. They don't care. When they played the Jets the first time around, they did not disguise their defense. They basically lined up every play and said, we're going to stop your run game. If you want to get it down the field, you got to throw it to your wide receivers outside.
The second down and 12. Take the pass, go middle, and coming up is Buffet with the stick on Sean Green, and that also loses yardage. Back-to-back plays behind the line of scrimmage, each a loss of 2.
I think if you're a fan, if you have followed pro football over the years, and you have seen this Colts defense get run on and watch Peyton Manning stand on the sidelines, well, it's not the same this year. They've gotten better as time has gone along. They stay in their run lanes much, much better. The safeties are excellent tacklers. That's why they've gotten better against the run.
3rd and 14, second year of this stadium. Colts have never allowed in this stadium an opening drive touchdown. And holding on there to make a quick stop is Lacey on Brad Smith. It will not be an opening drive touchdown, but the Jets can put points on the board as they'll call on Jay Feely.
Wow. Colts defense fast. It is attacking. They don't sit back and bend but don't break. They try to make plays now. I think you could see that at all levels. Defensive line penetration, safeties making tackles, and the corners being aggressive on the receiver.
This is 44 yards. Feely on the kick. And no good. It's been something watching the kickers struggle in the postseason. Kading, of course, last week. Graham against the Jets the week before that. Suisa missed a couple. Neil Rackers missed one at the end, although the Cardinals had a chance to go on and win that in overtime. But here a miss by Feely from 44. And the Colts not getting a chance to release the football again. Sacked for the second straight play by that Jets defense. And again, it's David Harris in the area along with Bart Scott.
Jim, they are coming. That time, David Harris. And what they are doing, and I saw a little bit of it in the time they played during the regular season, they're just trying to overpower the offensive linemen and push them back right at Peyton Manning's feet.
That one lost 7.
More movement by the Jets defense early in this game than the last time they played.
Back to the ground with a dive. And he spins out to the 32. 3rd and 12. Can the Colts protect the quarterback? Dallas Clark flanks Peyton Manning, as does the dive. Peyton again, more pressure, lobs it, and it was deflected by Donald Strickland. Pass intended for Dallas Clark.
Whoa, great pickup, but even though they're picking up the blitzes, that's a tight coverage down the field. And Peyton Manning has to try to make an excellent throw to Dallas Clark. How about Strickland underneath? If he'd have turned just a split second earlier, he might have got the interception.
Strickland drafted into the league by the Colts back in 2003 as McAfee. A high kick all the way down to the 12. And this will be Contry attempting to get out of a jam, and he takes it across the 20 to the 25. That's a good run back. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and Steve Tasker on site here in Indianapolis at the AFC Championship game. Sanchez on a little mistiming with Dustin Keller, and let's go down to our 7-time Pro Bowler, Mr. Tasker. Take it away.
Well, what we found out from Rex Ryan and Peyton Manning, they both saw this game the same way. Peyton Manning's wondering how the Jets defense was going to look at their 3 wide receiver offense. And then you see Mark Sanchez come in. As the roof came off this place in pregame introductions, Mark Sanchez went to the stands, found his father, and exchanged an embrace just before he took the field. Jim?
Thank you, Steve. His father, again, had a anxious week. And his station company almost deployed to Haiti. He would have liked it that, but he's here instead as Richardson is held to just a 1-yard gain. And talking about Sanchez going against this Jets defense, that first time he faced them, Phil, he said he realized in a hurry, they are tiny, but they are so fast.
Yeah, you don't hear that word too often in the NFL. Yeah, they're small, but oh my gosh, when they drop back in pass coverage, you think the throwing lane is there, you let it go, and it's knocked down. And Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator for the Jets, what really helped him when they played the last time, he says, I was on the field, I got a good look at them. They think they've made some good adjustments to make more plays this time around.
A 3rd and 8. They're going to try to get it on the ground, and they will not come close. Thomas Jones tripped up after 3 by Clint Sessions. So just after Indianapolis had a 3-and-out. Now the Jets come back with one of their own.
Yeah, this Indy defense, it's fast, hard to get up inside to get those extra blocks by the linemen. They attack the line of scrimmage, no more sitting back. We said it, and an excellent tackle by Sessions. Steve
Weatherford, the Jets punter, raised in Indiana in Terre Haute. A lot of family here in Indianapolis. Punts it down to the 25, bounces around, stays in the field of play. That's going to be about a 10-yard break for the Jets. Donald Brown, the rookie running back, in as Adai is being worked on the sideline. Peyton, good throw, Dallas Clark. And Clark gets about 5 before he collides with Rhodes and Harris.
You know, Jim, I want to go back to the Jets series real quick. 3rd and 8, they line up and just run it up the middle. And what that tells you, one, what they believe in, they respect the Colts defense, but they have a lot of faith in their own defense. Don't take chances, punt it back, and see what they can do against the Colts offense.
2nd down and 5. There's carry for the man from UConn, and that's Donald Brown all the way into the Jets secondary, racing, sprinting ahead for a dozen.
Yeah, I like this straight ahead running by this Colts offense. Usually they're checking to their runs, and as Peyton Manning says, our run game is not what it used to be, but we got to stay with it, because we've got to keep our offensive linemen aggressive.
The die is being taken to the locker room for the Colts. Donald Brown is the place for picking up the first a moment ago, and now they've got a big play hooked up with Garcon to the Jets 45. Pierre Garcon, he was able to break away from Dwight Lowry. Picks up 27.
You don't see a lot of big pass plays against this Jets defense. Peyton Manning doesn't throw a lot of 3-step drops, but when you're going against the blitzing defense, throw these 3-step drops, because he doesn't have to think, he doesn't have to change plays, and he can get it out of his hand fast.
Got an injury timeout. Strickland is down. Colts, first time in Jets territory, and this is the longest play for Indianapolis in 2 weeks. We'll be right back. Picked up 27. They did not have a play over 20 yards last week in the win over the Ravens. From the New York 45. One for the long ball. For Garcon, over the shoulder catch at the 10-yard line. Right over the top of the man who just entered the game, Lito Shepherd.
Well, this is something different for this Colts offense. He released inside. That'll catch a corner off guard, because they usually expect you to go outside when you're going deep. And Pierre Garcon That's what he brings to this offense. More speed, and we saw it the play before. When he catches it, Peyton Manning says, man, he has some anger in him when he runs with the football.
He was injured in the first matchup with the Jets 4 weeks ago. Garcon with 36 yards on that pass play. Drive that began back at the 11. Jets did not give up a drive any longer than 86 yards all season. And delay give, Donald Brown on 1st and goal, bounces outside and is able to fight back for no gain. It could have been a loss of 4 or 5. Well, that's the magic of Peyton Manning, isn't it, really? I mean, he sees that they've made a change in the secondary, and he exploits it right away.
Well, it's of him, and it's Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator on the sideline, who I'm sure called in and said, here's the play. Don't forget the matchup we have to your right. So Peyton Manning looked it off and went deep.
2nd and goal from the 9. Great times. Pass too high for Reggie Wayne. Revis on the coverage.
Well, just like we saw last week against the San Diego Chargers, you never know where Darrelle Revis is going to line up. There's nowhere for Peyton Manning to throw that football. Last week, the Baltimore Ravens gave up the short throw. The New York Jets said, we will not do that. We are going to challenge them all. And so far, they've tried.
Revis on Wayne again. Ryan Dean appeared.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty remains 3rd down.
Tony Corrente, who was the referee when the Colts won the Super Bowl down in Miami 3 years back.
Well, watch the right tackle, Jim. And Peyton Manning did a double fake snap count. What he does, why does he do that? A lot of reasons. The biggest thing is keep the defense from guessing the snap count, but also to see them, make them play their hand and see if they'll show their blitz.
Seconds to go in the 1st quarter. And 3rd and goal. They get it to Garcon. Jets with to have it defended. And they drag him down at the 6. It's Lito Shepard puts an end to that play. And that'll close out. No, hold on a minute. We've got a flag.
That's what they like to do. All-out blitz. Trying to throw the screen to the outside to beat it. You can't always block everybody. Jets fast to the outside.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 63. This penalty has been declined. The result of the play brings 4th down.
So the Colts strike with 2 big plays, 27 and 36 yards, back-to-back plays to Garcon, and they get inside the 10. They get bogged down with a couple of penalties. And Matt Stover will come out for a field goal try. Stover, a former teammate of Phil Simms of the New York Giants back in 1990. And he's going to attempt this one.
The game clock should have started on my signal. Therefore, the game clock is expired. That is the end of the 1st quarter.
2nd quarter begins in Indianapolis. In the battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Matt Stover from 25 yards. And he drills it through. The punter, Pat McAfee, handles the kickoff chores, and there is Brad Smith, who ran one back 4 weeks ago against the Colts, 106 yards. Tied for the 2nd longest kick return in NFL history. This would be 7 yards deep, and he says, not going to try to do it again. Not on this time. Sean Green will start this series. Jets rush for only 14 yards in that 1st quarter. The number 1 rushing attack in the league that averages 170 a game on the ground. Just 14 that first time, now going long. They've got a wide open man, and he makes the catch. It's Braylon Edwards taking off. Braylon Edwards will take it home for the touchdown. 80 yards.
The Colts know it. Everybody, the Jets look down the field for a big play. Oh, that is some nice route. by Braylon Edwards. He comes off slow and just makes that little move inside. It makes the defensive back relax just enough, and then when he takes off, you cannot catch up. But they were worried. They said when they go deep, we know it's going to number 17. The problem is you don't know when it's going to happen, and that was excellent disguise by Braylon Edwards.
Beat the rookie Jacob Lacey. Feely adds the extra point. Feely driving kick. And that's Simpson, stutter stepped at the goal line. Never gets the full stride going, and it's Brad Smith who drives him back. They maybe got it to the 20. Donald Brown remains the running back. That's a good opening for Donald Brown. Picks up about 6. What's the story on Donald Strickland? Let's go to Steve Tasker for the report.
Donald Strickland's got a groin injury. He's on the bike trying to keep it warm, but his return is doubtful. On the other side, Joseph Adai just came out of the Colt locker room. I asked him how he was doing. He gave me the nod, a little bit of a thumbs up. He's got a shoulder injury, but he is probable to get back in this game.
His replacement, his backup, Donald Brown, just picked up 5. And it's a 2nd down and 5. Ball's dropped on 3rd down and 5. That's Donald Brown stopped after only a gain of 2. So Collie had the chance for the first. So there is a flag.
12 men on the field, Jets. That was too easy for the Colts offense. Bart Scott, if you're going to make substitutions, you got to do it right away. Jets hesitated, got caught with 12.
There are 12 players on the defensive team. 5-yard penalty. We'll bring a first down.
57 running off the field. I believe this is Bart Scott. Doesn't even get close to make it. Say what you got to be watching for too. The Colts, even though they get people with 12 men on the field, they snap the football. And when I was watching them this week, they're not always set, but everybody's too busy trying to count all the defenders, and it goes unnoticed sometimes.
That's the first flag against the Jets. Able to get a first down at the 30. Coming in on Manning, gets it away to Wayne. And that was with Revis covering, and he breaks free to the 45.
Couple things they do here. Peyton Manning gets the protection, and he buys extra time by moving to his left. He is excellent at moving sideways to create more time to throw down the field. And we already said they're not going away or going to shy away from throwing against Revis. You give the receiver that much time, I don't care who you are, it's going to be hard to cover.
Adai's back in the game. That play picked up 25. That was some shake move by Wayne after he made the catch to get away from Revis. And Joseph Adai re-enters. And the Colts feed it to him right away. And he slices out there for about 9 yards.
Hope you're not too good.
2nd down and 2. And nice effort there. Kept driving the feet. That's Joseph Adai for the first down. How about this series? It looked like it had ended, but the penalty on the Jets kept it alive.
Well, the mechanics of the game preparation, the littlest things can derail you. And you're right, they were going to be off the field in 3 plays. Well, Peyton wouldn't have run that running play if he didn't think he had 12 guys on the field. Can't give extra plays to this offense, that's for sure.
Back to take it under center. What a nice move by Joseph Adai for another 8. He hopped away from David Harris. Just a little hip hop move for 8 yards.
Well, Jim, we talked about it. Oh, it's nice blocking up front. And Adai makes David Harris just miss. And we see that so often. Running attacks, of course, it's good blocking by offensive linemen. But running backs in the NFL now, you've got to make the first man miss to get those extra yards. Adai did it that time.
A 2nd and 2. Adai's picked up 19 yards over these last 3 plays since coming back.
Peyton did a lot of talking out there.
Fakes to Adai, plants the feet and throws in the area of Wayne, who wanted a flag. Revis on the coverage.
I don't know if he was holding, but it might have been incidental tripping on the outside. Bottom of your screen, Revis against Reggie Wayne. Oh, it's just, that is unbelievable coverage. The fans don't even have the heart to boo either. They go, yeah, it was pretty good.
You can't blanket a guy without contact any better than that.
But when you watch Manning at the line of scrimmage, he does so much directing. I always say, okay, the game is one thing. How does he do it every day in practice? Because it's just like this in war.
3rd and 2. Gonna go for it up top, steps up and hits. Collie rolls on. Cuts outside to the 10. Austin Collie's down at the 5 and pushed out of bounds by Leonard of the Jets. Dallas Clark threw a block for Austin Collie. And they've got 1st and goal to go from the 5.
Oh, Peyton Manning and Austin Collie. Watch the middle linebacker. He sees it. But Manning waits till he clears across the field to make the throw. So the protection inside was so good, it allowed Manning to step up, give that extra second, and it results in a 1st down and a big play.
Yeah, they actually have it down at the 4. The 4th completion of over 20 yards. They didn't have any last week. 2nd time inside the 10. Last time they had to settle for 3. Pass, thrown, and incomplete. Would have been a tough catch. Garcon with Lowry riding right behind him, unable to hold on.
Well, you can see this Garcon, Pierre Garcon, top of your screen. He is strong, and you've got to fight through there. That is an excellent job, but it took everything. Lowry had to knock this out.
He just took his hands away. Well played by Dwight Lowry. 2nd-year man from San Jose State. Another one of those great 4th-round picks that the Jets have had through the years. Into that very round. 2nd and goal. A guy in the backfield. Peyton throws complete, and Collie reached across. They're going to spot him short.
Some different looks from the outside. Austin Collie. He was probably down before he got into the end zone.
Hurry to the line. 11th play of the drive coming up. Manning on the sneak. And he's got nowhere to go.
They are tough inside this Jets defense. They lined up, and in a defense that's going to make it hard to run the quarterback sneak. They covered the center, the guards.
They're sending out Stover.
Look at the guys inside. They're lined up. There's nowhere to go. What a job. Calvin Pace from the outside is not going to give Peyton Manning a chance to make the 2nd effort.
And Peyton slams his hand on the ground as the Colts are denied. I thought they might take a look at the Collie play and want to challenge it, but they've hurried to the line themselves. 19-yard field goal. Colts kick it away after the 19-yard field goal by Stover. Smith's going to run it back this time, 6 yards deep. No return for a touchdown like he had December 27th. Running back behind Sanchez. And a good piece of tackling back. Antoine Buffet and Brackett helping out.
Yeah, that was blocked perfectly.
One observer here with great interest, the man who won Super Bowl 41 for the Colts, their coach, the great man Tony Dungy. He was here at the game, and so interesting to hear how Dungy prepared Caldwell for the head coaching job once he retired.
Yep, let him run some off-season mini camps, OTAs they call them. So when his time came, he'd be ready.
2nd and 6, and that is Green galloping out to the 40-yard line before Kelvin Hayden rides him down. But Sean Green, good piece of running for 12.
Well, you talked about it. All the left side of the Jets and their center Mangold all going to the Pro Bowl. But when the Jets want to run the football, they run behind Brandon Moore and Damian Woody on the right side. And that is some little design by the Jets, Brian Schottenheimer. And I will say this to the Jet skill guys, you better put 2 hands on that football. They have given this Colts defense about 4 opportunities to rip it out. They've missed it.
Here's that right side they ran behind when they picked up that 4th down that sealed it at San Diego last week. Thomas Jones picking it up. They fake the Richardson, pitch it to Green. And coming up is Melvin Bullitt, who holds that to a 3-yard play.
You want to have a good defense. How about these safeties for the Colts? Out of nowhere, here comes Melvin Bullitt into the screen, and down you go. The first play, it was Bethea. And I know Bob Sanders, terrific safety for him. He's not playing, but they have not lost anything this year with the safeties. The overall scheme of the defense has changed. That's why they've gotten better.
They got Brad Smith now ready to take the direct snap. And Green lines up behind him. Fake the option, got a man wide open. It's Cotchery waiting for it at the 20 and brought down at the 10. He threw only 1 pass all season long, Brad Smith, and he hits a big one here in the postseason.
There you go. How are they going to get big plays? You would say, oh, I hope they don't run this again, because everybody's stopping the option by Brad Smith. Excellent carry out of the fake. He does it so long that it allows Cotchery to fake the block. Then he takes off. But Brad Smith makes the smart, safe throw. Take the completion. If he leaves him too much, could have been incomplete, of course.
Of course, Brad Smith, a quarterback at Missouri. And had he thrown that one just a little deeper, I think Cotchery, he had great separation. But Smith, when he arrived as the Jets, he was the first quarterback in Division I A history to throw for 8,000 yards and run for 4,000.
But Jim, we came into this game. How are the Jets going to make big plays to win? They didn't even get close to making any in the first time they played. We saw the move by Braylon Edwards. This little bit of a trick play, or not a trick play, they took advantage of a defense that was being too aggressive. That's what they did.
Melvin Bullitt was shaken up on that last play. Their safety, Aaron Francisco, comes in to replace him, number 43. That play went for 45 yards, down to the 12. Going Sean Green. And Green rides it low for 4 yards. He was the 5th running back taken in the draft this year, behind Noshawn Moreno, Donald Brown of the Colts, Bonzi Wells, and LaShawn McCoy. Taken in the 3rd round, the first pick, in fact, day 2 of the draft.
Yeah, they moved up to get him. They had him rated as a 1st-round draft pick. You always hear that. But they had in the papers the actual scouting report that was out there about him. And the Jets, Mike Tannenbaum, the general manager, finally goes, well, they made a trade for Sanchez, then they make a trade for Sean Green. How's that worked out? Pretty good.
Boy, is it paying off here late in the year. 2nd down and 6. A good fake carried out by Sanchez. He's in trouble, though. Has the ball on his hip. Unloads it. Out of bounds, incomplete.
Wow.
Robert Mathis and Philip Wheeler were chasing him down.
Good thing he has unbelievably large hands. And I mean this because you cannot get rid of this football. Sanchez told us last night a few times he thought he was going to be outside to make a play, and then out of nowhere, here comes defenders. Now another dangerous play he gets away with. How about that? Off balance and able to use his hand and arm and still flick the ball across the field to throw it out of bounds.
Just trying to get that incompletion and keep the ball marked at the 9. A timeout is called by New York. 3rd and goal. No, 3rd and 6. They can get the 1st at the 2. And Melvin Bullitt is back in the Indianapolis secondary. Sanchez unloads it in time. What a pass. Touchdown. Dustin Keller. Raheem Brock flattened Sanchez just as he unloaded it. Quite a drive by the Jets. Sanchez has 5 completions, 2 of them for touchdowns. And Dustin Keller, who's from Indianapolis. Dustin Keller had talked to his uncle on Tuesday night, and his words to him, give it everything you got. We're all going to be here for the game on Sunday. And then he passed away of a heart attack on Wednesday. So fighting through all kinds of emotion, he has a touchdown at his hometown, and the Jets up 14-6. Surrounding Simpson out at the 28. Toss, a dive. One wide, Dean out in front, and he's able to tightrope it for about 10, maybe just a little short of the first. That was Ryan Deem out there throwing the big block for 9.
Why are the Colts running the football so much? Because the quarterback has been under pressure, and there's just times you just get tired of trying to pick up blitzes and determine who's got who.
Look at 21 here. Watch this. Dwight Lowry shaken up. He had a hard time getting off the field, so they're already thin in the secondary with an earlier injury to Strickland. Ihedibo has come into the lineup, number 44 for the Jets. On 2nd and 1. Back to a die. He takes a jet with him for what appears to be a first down. There is James Ihedibo.
Well, the one thing the Jets defense play a lot of guys, and when guys have been called upon, we've talked about it, Jim. Chris Jenkins, great nose tackle, gone. Guys have filled in and done a tremendous job.
There's Lowry, and I'm not sure the Colts are going to be happy with that spot. And they'll measure for it. And they got what they wanted. Got the first down. Jim Caldwell, who won his first 14 games as a head coach. That's an NFL record, breaking the record of 10 straight wins to open a head coaching career by Wally Lim of the Houston Oilers back in the early 60s. What a quiet, confident man he is. Turned 55 last week. Won on his birthday a victory over the Ravens to Jim Caldwell, directing this team. So first down with 3:45 to go in the half. And look at Pace. The ball is out. Recovered by Leonard. Pace almost took the handoff. Thomas Jones back in. It's his turn to carry it. Jones falls down to the 25, picked up above 4.
Another right side run. You know, a couple things, they've been doing it all year long, the New York Jets. Running behind their right guard and tackle, penalty on the field.
Yeah, flag just thrown. Well after the play. Might be an unsportsmanlike call.
There is no foul for an offensive player on the line of scrimmage who is ineligible on the end of the line. He was actually covered by a wide receiver. The play stands. 2nd down.
2nd down and 7. And Thomas Jones. Another flag at the line of scrimmage. I heard whistles.
False start. Offense number 67. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
The play was never in motion, so back up the Jets another 5.
Did you hear the whistle?
I did.
Oh, you did? You
Yeah.
had good ears. I couldn't hear it. I'm not saying he didn't blow it. It's just the crowd noise gets going in this place. It gets so loud, it's hard to hear.
There's been Hartsuck. He's been seeing a lot of action here today. He's a former Colt as well. He's lining up on the left side. As we fast approach 2.5 to go in the half. This time it's the Colts in the backfield with Freeney. Freeney and then Mathis. A loss of 4.
You just can't hesitate. When you hesitate, it's over. You know, you just got to run it up in there and take a 1-yard loss. When you slow down, you are not going to get a second move against this Colts defense.
I guess that's Cernick, actually, and we'll settle that next week. 3rd and 16. As Jones, Jets run it to give Feely a better look at things.
Sure, very predictable. Very predictable. The Jets, you don't want to be throwing the football against Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney in 3rd and long. And just get those few yards, make the field goal attempt easier.
It's going to be a second field goal over 40 yards attempted by Feely, as the Colts have called another timeout with 2:16 to go.
I always relate field goal kickers. We said it last week. They can feel the pressure because they get to think about it. And it's, you know, it's like a golfer, Jim. You play a lot of golf. When you miss that first 4-foot putt that's big and you miss it, how do you feel over that next 4-foot putt? Do you have confidence or are you second guessing?
I defer to you. You play a lot more than I do. Here we go. Feely. Feely from 40. Let's call it 48. Missed from 44. But this time, right down Broadway.
I guess he answered that question, didn't he? Rex Ryan thinks he goes, that's not a kicker.
Well, the 180 yards to Braylon Edwards. I think there's still some aftershocks with that one. And good kick by Feely. We'll send them out to the 20-yard line. Dwight Lowry is back into the game. He's at the top of the screen on Garcon. Pass over the head of Clark with Rhodes covering.
The Jets, Rex Ryan, last week after the game was over against the Chargers, he said, I apologize to our fans. We got soft at the end. He told us last night, I promise you, we will not back off anytime today. Blitz the first play against Peyton Manning in this drive.
2nd and 10. That's Austin Collie with Coleman. He spins away from Coleman, steps out of bounds at the 38 at the 2. The 2 best in the league, putting points on the board, touchdowns before the half. Saints 1, Colts 2. Coleman seeing some emergency action. He does play quite a bit, but they've had to shuffle that secondary today with a couple of injuries, including Donald Strickland, who remains out. Eric Smith in the game right now for New York. Manning's got a long ball. Looking for Collie, he catches it. Down at the 15-yard line. Reaching out for it was the man we just mentioned. Seeing some added playing time today, Drew Coleman. It's a 46-yard hookup.
It's just a terrific throw by Peyton Manning. He puts just enough arc on it to lay it in there perfectly for Austin Collie. It was a blitz inside. The offensive line did a terrific job, giving him a lot of space to step up and make the perfect throw.
Going to the end zone. Open is Collie, and he has the catch. Touchdown, Indianapolis. They're going to go for 1. Just 2 plays out of the 2-minute warning. They took care of business in a hurry.
It was definitely a blown coverage by the New York Jets. They are confused on assignments. Nobody covers Collie as he goes right through the middle.
80-yard drive by the Colts. All the yardage comes through Austin Collie.
And last time they played, the Colts kept going outside looking for those big plays. Today, they're going down the middle.
And Smith is going to run it out. 20, and that's it. Dawson and others. Henry at the 22. Jets have 1 timeout. 1:06 to play. Jay Feely really get a chance before the half. Thomas Jones. Richardson's helmet comes off. Just another running play. Now a timeout called by the Colts. All the scoring coming in the second quarter. And the Jets will go to the locker room leading 17-13. The 17-point quarter by New York. They only topped that once this year in any given quarter. Sean Green running back to open up the quarter. He takes it out for a good game for sure. 2nd and 3. That's Green. First down at the 41. Sanchez goes to Keller for 5.
Sean Green, Jim, is such a big part of this offense now. Going to the sideline,
Take a little shot to the rib maybe here. No.
No, I think, you know, if anything, I'd hate to guess on injuries, but boy, these defensive backs. Kelvin Hayden hit him. Did he hit the thigh? And, you know, when you see these little defensive backs, they hit your thighs. Boy, it can create quite a bruise and make you limp.
2nd and 5. He still has it. Sanchez looking downfield with Patry hanging out on the sideline. That's a catch. That's a catch at the Colts 37.
The initial coverage was terrific by the Colts. The play fake was so good, I was going, oh my gosh, he's going to run for a touchdown. But Mark Sanchez looked inside. Patry gets both feet down. As he looked inside, it opened up Patry to the outside. So good job by Sanchez using his eyes, getting the receiver open, and then making a good throw on the run.
I remember when Peyton first came in the league, everyone marveled about his play action skills, how deft he was. And this guy, as we've watched him all season long, he's pretty darn good, isn't he?
Oh, he is excellent at it. Sells him out big time, just like that one.
Looking long. He's looking for Clowney, now just tosses it. It bounces off the chest of Richardson. He was trying to go with the long ball to David Clowney. He was double covered down the field.
Well, you know, the one thing, those two big plays in the first half, what did it do for the Jets? Well, it slows the defense down, and it makes them think before they react. So they might take away the big plays, but running lanes and short passes should be a better opportunity to get them here in the second half.
Going to load up the left side with Edwards, Smith, Patry. Second and 10. They run it right. The power side. Down to the 34. 3rd and 7 coming up. Thomas Jones.
Well, they were hoping the Jets a couple things. Brian Schottenheimer goes, well, if Robert Mathis is in, he's a terrific pass rusher, but he's undersized. Let's try to run at him. And man, when Dwight Freeney, when he gets tired, let's try and throw the ball. So when he's out of the game, he has somebody saying Dwight Freeney's out. He's liable to call a pass, or more likely to, when Dwight Freeney's out. But pass rushers are in on 3rd down.
Freeney, they'll go against D'Brickashaw right here. Try to rush the quarterback. Ferguson seals him off. The pass just thrown away, incomplete. And it'll be another long-range attempt coming up for Feely. It'll be his longest try of the day. And 4th and 7. Looks like they're going to go for the 52-yard field goal.
How about Sanchez, though, Jim? No second look. No, let me try to make a play, pull it down, find the next receiver. This atmosphere and the way he's played down the stretch, he has learned, and it's worked well for him.
Of course, the danger here, should he miss it, the Colts would take over at the 42. A great starting point. 52-yard try by Feely. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He's wide. Coming off a missed field goal. Ball at the 42. See if the Colts offense can pick right up with what they were doing at the end of the 2nd quarter. Some pretty snappy stuff. Going long again. And that was intended for Garcon. That was Dwight Lowry running right with him. Now here's the first play of the second half. Big pile of defenders on him.
Yeah, you know, Jim, when he was going to the locker room, you said it, looks like he's having a hard time breathing. So just seeing him grab his ribs, that might be the play he got hurt on.
2nd and 10. Right back they go to Garcon with David Harris decking him at midfield. 3rd and 3 coming up, and they're going to go hurry up.
Favorite play of the Colts we just saw. Garcon underneath. They do it with everybody now. Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark.
Again, becoming his favorite target today. Drew Coleman knocks him down, but it picks up another first.
Well, another favorite play of the Indianapolis Colts. They do it every single week. He's going to come outside. They try to pick it to the inside. And even though everybody's ready for it, Peyton Manning just throws it to the receiver to his back shoulder. There's no way a defensive back can get there quick enough.
Peyton talking to us on Friday about how this team feels different than the Super Bowl champion team of 3 years ago, because surrounded by so many young guys in big positions like Holly and Donald Brown, the running back, and he considers Garcon to be basically a rookie.
I think they like the energy all these young guys are bringing to their team.
Pass threaded to Garcon for a first down. Wasn't a whole lot of room to get that one in.
Nope. Peyton Manning's under pressure. They're pushing it, but it's not good enough. Calvin Pace gets his guy back there. Coverage is tight. Perfect throw by Peyton Manning, and the Jets were upset after the first game against these Colts because they said Peyton knew every one of our blitzes. He was saying this guy's going to blitz. He's not. And they looked at each other and go, he's right. Looks like that's happened here. His time has gone on.
That goes for 16. Now he's going for a big one. Back to Collie and over his head. With this Indianapolis offense now in rhythm.
Well, you know, Jim, it's in rhythm. They really don't try to trick you. Again, that play they just ran, the inside long route by the receiver, Collie. Tom Moore says, well, I just kind of stimulate Peyton's brain, give him an idea, and just let him go. That's what they've taught him to do. And why should they second guess it? Look how many years this no-huddle offense and Manning in control, how many years it's worked and been great, too.
2nd and 10. You empty it out. Send the dive to the top of your screen. Going to a dive. He shakes off the hit. He was able to get free, and he has a first at the 15. Oh, they could have stopped him for about a 1 or 2 yard gain, but the two players who are wearing casts, Sean Ellis and Jim Leonard, were unable to wrap him up. There's Leonard first and then Ellis.
Yep, that's right. Two one-handed players. And that's another play. When you blitz, we saw it earlier in the game. First quarter going into score, they throw the outside screens. Jets ready for it. They just can't make the tackles.
Mike Hart, running back, enters for the first time. Saw plenty of action against the Ravens. Second-year man from Michigan. Big career with the Wolverines. Knee injury as a rookie. Pass complete at the 10, and down to the 4 is Garcon. Peyton picking them apart now.
Well, it's just one-on-one, Jim. That's all it is. And boy, Peyton Manning, 6'6", and he gets up on his toes, and he literally throws over the top of the defense. Probably the only quarterback I see in the NFL do that, and throws down to the receivers on all those short routes.
First and goal from the 4. That one-on-one, and a catch is made. Touchdown, Pierre Garcon. And the Colts have come back from 11 down to regain the lead.
The Jets defense is staying on the field, and you're Dwight Lowry. It was an in cut. It was a slant. Oh, now this time they go up the field and out. It's a lot to think about, and the execution. That's what it's all about with the Colts. About perfect throws and good routes.
Extra point, good by Stover. McAfee now ready to launch it again. They're trying to go for a 4th trip to the Super Bowl. That's in franchise history. All the Colts Super Bowls have been in Miami. They'd like to go there again as Smith shakes off one of his own blockers and goes out of bounds at the 31. Thomas Jones works the middle. Alan Faneca helps launch a 12-yard run. What's the story on Sean Green? Let's go to Steve Tasker.
Sean Green just came out of the x-ray room in the tunnel and proceeded. It looked worse when he came out than it did when he went in. He came out, his pads were off. He went further toward the jet locker room. It looks like he's out for the foreseeable future, but there's no word on how extensive his injury is or what his injury is at all. But he is not going to make it in for this series.
And Thomas Jones good piece of running. Brings it out to the 42. And Jones. And a flag thrown in. Actually, a flag back at the 40. Sanchez is down.
Holding, offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Oh, look at Rex.
I think what he's yelling about, Mark Sanchez was on the ground and just sitting there looking. What was that? I did not see the hit because I was watching the run. But after Sanchez hands it off, watching. Oh, yes.
Melvin Bullock is the one who hit him.
That could have been a penalty.
And Ryan is red hot as the Jets now go back to the 32. The call against them. And that's Thomas Jones to the 35 for 3.
Well, bad news for the Jets. Sean Green is out. But Thomas Jones, Jim, accomplished. And the Jets even told us, if everything's on the line like last week against San Diego, we're going with the veteran who has done it many times, and that's Thomas Jones.
That's what Brian Schottenheimer told us. Yes, he picked up that clinching 4th down last week. He was a 1,400-yard rusher on the season.
Patience is the word for the Jets offense.
2nd and 17. And a strike thrown to Keller for a first.
And what I mean by patience, be careful, protect the football. First and foremost, 20-17. How about this? We talked about what a throw by Sanchez. Gary Brackett almost gets it. Good turn, perfect spiral. That's why it makes it easy to catch it if you're a receiver when the quarterback is throwing perfect spirals.
Back to the Colts side of the field at the 46. And movement by DeBrickashaw Ferguson. May have been Keller.
Number 60. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Well, the fact that he has this penalty, Jim, it tells me they were going to throw it. Well, maybe not. Yeah, DeBrickashaw Ferguson moved outside to get in pass blocking position. So this is the spot of the field where most offenses like to take a chance and throw it down the field. With that penalty, I don't know if the Jets will still go with that type of play.
Jets have been flagged 4 times. They have not given it away. They have not been sacked. Sideline pass, and he's out of bounds. David Clowney.
Excellent throw. A couple people that are having good games today for the Colts. Melvin Bullock and Antoine Buffet. They have had tremendous games coming up for tackles, stopping long runs. And we've seen it even last week. Buffet, he can cover ground, does an excellent job of reading the quarterback.
Second and 15. Edwards through his hands and almost intercepted by Buffet.
Yeah, you're lucky when it bounces up. One step drop by Sanchez. One step, boom, throw it a little behind and high, and when it gets tipped up in the air, you're fortunate that there was only one defensive back deep.
Buffet, who has a knack for making interceptions in the postseason. Very nearly had another one that time. 3rd and long for Sanchez and the Jets. Dump it off to Richardson, and there's no room to operate. Colts close in on him after a gain of 2.
Still a successful drive for the Jets. They change field position, and they give their defense a much-needed rest. And they're going to back up the Indianapolis Colts.
Steve Weatherford punted 80 times this year. Only 34% of his punts were returned, lowest in the league. This one will be taken out to about the 16 by T.J. Rushing. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Steve Tasker here at the AFC title game with 4:24 to go in the third. The Colts, the last two times they've had it, given 137 yards. They got another big gainer. They've marched down the field 2 straight trips for touchdowns. And another good burst to begin this one. 17 for a dive.
Well, the Jets this time are playing a pass defense so they won't give up those big throws down the field. So they do that, and the Colts quick snap them, and they beat them up front. And look how much room and how long it took for a Jet defender to grab the running back. They'll put pressure on the front four to stop the run, to put the extra guy back there to stop the passes.
They go run with Donald Brown. A yard. That was Clark. Short gainer. As Drew Coleman has a hold of him in a hurry. So Tom Moore, Peyton, the Colts cracked the code. And he also had a banged up secondary for the Jets. That play a factor here?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, Jim, like anything, you take your second best cover guy, you take him out of the game, then you got to start moving everybody from behind up. And it creates a weakness on your defense. The Colts took advantage of it with their third and fourth receivers. Third long, always a big blitzing down for the Jets defense.
The Colts #1 in the league on third down this year, but the Jets have been the best defending. 3rd and 7, they're coming after him. Pass wide of the mark. That time, all influenced by James Ihedibo in on Peyton quickly.
Well, why this works on third downs, because it's down in distance. So they send the extra defenders, and the Colts can't pick them all up from the outside. Drew on the wrong guy. So Peyton Manning doesn't even have time to let his receiver get past the first down marker and complete the pass.
This is the first punt for McAfee since the first quarter. Justin Snow, the 3rd longest tenured Colt behind Manning, and Saturday sends it back a little low. McAfee able to launch a big one. Uncorks one down to the 10. Fair catch by Kotchery. Sean Green has just come back out of the locker room. He's been out since the second play of this third quarter. Jets football at the 11. Thomas Jones runs into Antoine Buffet, picks up 2. Just a moment ago, Lance Barrow and Mike Arnold picked up this shot of the team physician, Dr. Kenneth Montgomery, talking to Dr. Elliot Hirschman, team orthopedist. Made a little motion toward the rib area, no doubt talking about Sean Green. They had been back examining him for the last half hour. And a minute and a half to go in the third. A quarter that's belonged to Indianapolis. And again, they pound the Jets running game. Let's go to Steve Tasker for the latest.
Well, as Sean Green came back onto the field, Jim, it was obvious he's still not feeling right. He's grimacing with some pain on his low left side of his body, and he's got an extra pad under his jersey in his low rib section on his left side. So they took him in, x-rayed him, put an extra pad in, and put him back in the game. He's back on the sidelines. No word as to whether he'll return.
Well, his offensive unit will face a 3rd and long. Dangerous spot here for Sanchez and the Jets. Backed up to their own 11. 3rd and 10. And the pass right where it had to be for Kotchery in a first.
Well, that was some throw. First off, really good formation by the Jets. They put double wings, so the guys outside are going to get in the way of the 2 best pass rushers. What a little window. What a perfect throw by Sanchez. And the Jets know one of the best things he does. We talked about it. throws the ball outside towards the sideline. Very well.
Picks up 12, but they're sending in signals from Schottenheimer, and up top, Freeney's out this play. We talked about trying to take advantage. He shuttles around. Dawson's taking his place at the moment. They're going to go run, spin away, and then death. As the fourth quarter commences, 2nd and 10 for the Jets at the 23. Keller reaches down for the catch, and then 4 or 5 Colts get in on the tackle. First was Clint Session.
Yeah, you look at this game, we talked about the Jets' run game, so devastating to every team they've played almost all year long. But today, 27 rushes for 79 yards. That's less than 3 yards a carry. The Colts defensive line, we talked about it, and we tried to, it's not the same old Colts. They're bigger inside, and Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis take care of the run a lot better now than they did in the past.
You saw the graphic. The Jets, they had a fourth quarter comeback win last week in San Diego. Entered that quarter down 7-3. A 3rd and 6. And a diving catch out at the 40-yard line. Jericho Cotchery keeps the ball in possession of New York. A 14-yard play.
Well, Mark Sanchez does a really nice job. He looks left and creates a little hole to the right side and then drills it in there. A little pump fake, moved the linebacker, and then he throws a perfect ball to Cotchery. What a catch. You need great catches to keep drives going against this Colts defense.
Cotchery's third down catch and conversion today. On first down. Jones takes the pile with him for a couple. Second and 8. Sanchez in trouble. Lucky that one falls incomplete. That was in the air for a long time and went over the head of Gary Brackett.
It was a disaster from the start. I'm not sure who went the wrong way. The play action fake. There's no back to fake it to. They're trying to throw, I think, a screen back across the field. But it keeps them in a 3rd down and still a makeable position.
Third and 8. Gets away from Bullock. Goes for the long ball, and it's over the head of everybody. Francisco was back defending Braylon Edwards.
Sanchez is limping off the field a little bit, but the initial coverage is outstanding. Nobody open. Wants to go to the end, cut to the backside, double covered. Braylon Edwards, nice job of seeing this quarterback go out, break down the field.
Weatherford. TJ rushing. He stays away from it, and the Jets unable. And we're back with the Jets down 3. Colts possession. Jets already having defeated the AFC North champion Cincinnati, AFC West champion San Diego, and tangling here with the AFC South and #1 seed Indianapolis. With 12:25 remaining in the game, and it's Manning wide open to Reggie Wayne. And Wayne fumbles the football and falls on it right away. David Harris was able to knock it out of his hands, and the ball, fortunately for Wayne, did not have some sort of awkward bounce. 17 picked up.
Well, it's the underneath route that we talked about. It doesn't work sometimes when you got tight coverage, but Reggie Wayne swatted Revis off of him, created space, and the Jets, they're looking for one big play. That's what they need on either side. I'm sure they're excited and thought, we could be 20-17 in this situation. Fourth quarter, they'd take it.
And that could have been it right there. And for the ball bouncing right back into Wayne's area and right up the fingertips of Clark this time. Now it's Clark.
Well, same play, different players. Give Dallas Clark a chance. But when you're not in the flow of the game, and he has not been in the flow today, how about that? Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne, kind of secondary receivers, and the Colts still going up and down the field with Austin Collie and Pierre Garçon.
Clark, 2 catches, 8 yards. The young receivers, the difference makers today so far for Indianapolis. 2nd down and 10. Collie has a first down at the 48.
Boy, well designed.
That was Revis on the coverage, and the rookie picks up 11 and a first down.
Well, Jim, the formation made Revis back off. When they get in this bunch, 3 of them, you got to retreat and then react. But the timing of the throw, and Peyton Manning stuck it in there, hard to stop that. The Jets coming into the game said, we want to take away Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne. They've done that. Colts are okay. That just shows you another reason why they were undefeated. Take away their main weapons, they go to the next guys.
Peyton over 300. For the 7th time in a playoff game. Looking for more, and it's going to be another 6-7 yards added to the total with Garçon. When we talked to Peyton on Friday, Phil, you remember how he talked about playing these guys? You know it's going to be a grind. You just know it's going to be a grind, so just go ahead and accept it. Don't get frustrated by it.
He said that, Jim, and the other big thing, he goes, never think that you figured it out. Give it your best guess, then react to what they do, because they change that much. Yeah, I think for as much as you can, he's figured it out because he's hot. 3 straight underneath throws.
2nd and 4. Another underneath throw to Clark. He bangs heads and stays on his feet, and a flag at the end. The play picked up 12, and likely extra yardage on the back end of it.
Personal foul, grabbing a face mask.
Yep.
Defense, number 44. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Dallas Clark, oh my gosh, Eric Smith misses him off the line of scrimmage.
That's a headed ball. He came in, reached in.
Yeah, puts his hand on it. And now the Jets just got to go. Whatever defense you got, of course, try to stop them. Just give up the field goal.
To the ground. To the guy for 4.
Kind of goes back to the old Colts there. When Peyton Manning gets under center, the running back is behind him. You see a pass defense. That's what they used to do. It was almost an automatic run. Not this year, but today, their running game has been better than the New York Jets.
Left side. He's got Lowry on him. Peyton surveys, tries to solve the riddle. He's going to look down to the end zone, and he's got Dallas Clark wide open for a touchdown.
A staple of their offense. Fake it to the running back, Dallas Clark down the middle. We haven't seen it all day long, but they finally got the Jets playing a little differently, and Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark, they're taking advantage of it.
21 unanswered as the extra point is good. And some 200 Jet players and 4 head coaches. 8:52 left. Thomas Jones. Sean Green turned into a spectator after the second play of this half. Sanchez, 3rd and 5. Incomplete, tipped away by Kelvin Hayden, intended for Kachuri.
It's everything. Look at the pressure, the blitz. People at Sanchez's feet. He makes a perfect throw, but it doesn't matter. The coverage, outstanding.
Well, Jim Caldwell was an old defensive back. His playing days, 4-year letterman at Iowa. He played for Larry Coyer, who was his position and defensive coordinator. And the home team has the 10-point lead and the ball. With 8 minutes remaining, and it's a tie. Stacked up by Bart Scott, David Harris, and others for no gain. How about a little nod to that offensive line of the Colts and some of the adjustments, no doubt, they had to make here, Phil?
Well, they do. The offensive line, along with Howard Mudd, who's been an offensive line coach here for so long. We've seen Jeff Saturday, the center. Him and Peyton Manning have been together for so many years. It takes a lot of communication, and they have figured it out here as the game has gone along. They're going to see jet pressure, though, here from now to the end of this game.
Call it 2nd and 9. For Collie, and unable to wiggle free, and that's going to be because he was held back by Drew Coleman. It generates a flag.
Illegal contact, defense number 30. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, what separates, I think, the Colts from so many teams? Watch the receiver, Collie. He made a little fake inside. When they know it's an all-out blitz, they just don't try to throw the short pass to get a first down. They look at it as an opportunity to score a touchdown. And again, the inside throwing, that's been the difference today over the last time they played. Instead of going outside to the sidelines for those big plays, doing it down the middle, and it's worked very well.
Off the fingertips, Dallas Clark. Jim Leonard defending. Jim Leonard. Already in these postseason playoffs, a sack, a forced fumble, an interception, and today a fumble recovery. Watch Peyton eyeing it.
You know, it was great. I don't even know if he had the laces to throw it. He saw the receiver open. He glanced out in front of him to make sure there was nobody coming the other way. Then he threw it. Very important for all quarterbacks is to see in front of the receiver so you don't throw it and it gets picked off, or you give up a big hit to him when he catches it.
2nd down and 10. Back to Garcon. Lowry drags him down. It'll be a 3rd and 3 coming up for the Colts at 7 minutes.
We talked about it. Garcon, you just can't appreciate him until you see him in person, that he's big and strong, and Peyton Manning said it right. Has a little anger in him once he catches the football. Hard to bring down.
Huge 3rd down for this Jets defense.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Garcon has it again. And the Colts move the chains one more time. Picks up 8.
Well, you see it. Tight coverage on the outside, but it's just an excellent job by Garcon selling the route up the field, gets him underneath Lowry, and we've seen it so many times today over the years, this underneath throw. And it's not like it's a lollipop in there either. He fires it in there, and they snatch it out of the air.
And that keeps Sanchez on the bench for a little while longer. And time running out. Now they go around with the guy. He's got a big gainer. He's all the way down to the Jets 37. And he stayed in bounds.
Yeah, how about that? The New York Jets, they usually play the patient game and wear you out as the game goes along. Well, today the Colts have done it to them, and knowing situations, it's pretty close. He could have fallen out of bounds and hit it, but knowing situations, there's a lot of reasons why you go undefeated the first 14 games of the year.
It had to be appreciated by Edgerrin James. And Colt running back is here. He's out there as an honorary captain for the coin toss, as well as Curtis Martin for the Jets.
He was out.
And the dive has just a yard. Looking again, and Garcon almost catches it on his back. Well, the thing that really stuck out was how they brought in Peyton to interview him, and Peyton came in with a whole legal pad filled up with about 50 questions. He in turn ended up interviewing them.
He interviewed Bill Polian and all the other guys, and I said to Bill Polian, I said, well, were you insulted? He goes, no, I loved it. You know, so they knew they were picking the right guy. They put the skilled players around him. They've done it his whole career. And they just try to move different guys on the defensive side so they can keep drafting high on the offensive side. Really a formula that's worked great. You always wonder why more teams have the copy.
3rd and 9, just beating the play clock. Peyton always aware. He's got Garcon, who holds on at the 11-yard line. This kid out of Mount Union, second-year player. Peyton was telling us about him the other day, and he said, you know, he had his first catch in a game you guys were broadcasting last year in Pittsburgh. He doesn't miss anything. Garcon had 4 catches all of last year. This one 23 yards.
How about that route? Toughest route, I think, to cover in football when a receiver goes down the field, starts to go inside, fakes, and then goes back up the field. Impossible to cover. Dwight Lowry, what can you do? And Bill Polian goes, yeah, I've seen that a lot. That'll make anybody happy. But the Colts have, everybody gets a chance to run those double moves on their offense.
A 1-yard run for a die. Garcon with 11 catches, and
wow.
We have it. He sets up the Colts again deep. It's a 2nd down from the 11. 2nd and 9 on a dive.
Okay.
Puts it up the middle for a yard. Another timeout called by the Jets. 3rd and 8. A die is a yard short of the first. And the Jets had to hold them to 3 here. And, 4th and 1. A little hesitation on the Colts side. They're thinking about going for it. Going ahead and trying to knock this thing out. And that's what they're going to do. Manning quickly to the line.
Well, that answers the question before you even give it a thought out, because you got them backed up. It would take 2 scores by the Jets. It makes sense. Don't kick the field goal, give them a chance to block it. It would be a miracle victory. This is the safer way. Going for it on 4th.
A yard for a first, 3 for a touch. And now timeout by the Colts.
Jim, I go back. It is a short one.
Now they got Stover out.
Yeah, they brought him out. They're going to kick the field goal.
I think they were trying to catch the Jets in a shift change. Maybe too many players on the field or get them to jump. They take that timeout with a 2nd on the down clock. It'll be a 21-yarder here, Phil, for Matt Stover. He turns 42 on Wednesday. Stover's kick. He'll drive it on the ground. Scoops past a number of players. Smith fighting for every inch. On 1st and 10, and that pass off the hands of Thomas Jones. And there again, there was big-time pressure provided by Dwight Freeney.
Dwight Freeney limping off. Well, he came around the corner fast. The Brickashaw Ferguson has the chore of blocking him one-on-one. He says the key is don't be too aggressive, because he's a counter puncher. Well, that time he just, he ran over Sanchez. That's why he twisted his foot, ankle, whatever.
Sanchez has missed on his last 5 throws. Pump fake, he's got a hit here. Recovered, getting out of bounds smartly.
That shows you a lot about this Colts defense. Even when Mark Sanchez knew the coverage and all that, they're so quick. He's making pump fakes before he throws it to the open receiver. Because if he looks at the open receiver too quick, they will beat the football to the target.
Freeney still sideline. That awkward step. picked off. Off the deflection, Kelvin Hayden has the interception. And the Colts have all but locked up a berth in the Super Bowl. Just as they did 3 years ago in that comeback against the Patriots. They ended the game essentially with an interception. It was Marlon Jackson. Today, it's Kelvin Hayden.
Well, you know, Jim, they make you play so fast in such a frenetic pace. That time, Sanchez moved up, just not settled down enough. The throw's a little high, but look, this is a really good football team, the Indianapolis Colts. The New York Jets, Mark Sanchez, he had an outstanding day.
Hayden, who had an interception down there in Super Bowl 41 in Miami and ran it back for a touchdown. And gave the Super Bowl ring to his mother, Lynette. Going to have a chance to earn another one. Jets have only one. The Colts, they never panicked, down 17-6. They pulled off the biggest comeback in championship game history 3 years ago, back from 18 down. They were 11 down in this one. It will be the third largest comeback ever. And they put up 30 on the #1 defense in football.
They're relentless. You know, they come in, they couldn't run the football. Their running was borderline excellent for them today. And Jim, when you want to be a Super Bowl champion, this is what the Jets will learn. You have to have a lot of ways to win games. The Colts can do it with their explosive players on the defensive side. And how about that? If you came into the game and said, Dallas Clark, Reggie Wayne will not have a big impact on it, you'd say Jets. But
so don't even pay no mind, man.
The Colts is what they've done all year long. When a unit's called upon to win the game, they have done it every single time.
Does this put to rest now all the talk for the last month about resting players at the end of the season for the Colts side?
Well, I think we put that to rest about a lot of teams last week. But it does.
And 3rd and 10 Hart, Alvin Pace. And the ball is out. They're whistling it down. And they'll punt. Now, by the way, the football for the Super Bowl, they've already been marked, printed, and ready to go. They got
Minnesota.
The 2 versions.
Oh, okay.
All right, Minnesota or New Orleans. Will it be Colts, Saints, Manning against his hometown team, his dad's team? Will it be Favre and the Vikings against Manning? Those two, of course, who have so many of the all-time passing records. Favre does. Manning, if he plays long enough, will have him to himself one day. And a timeout called. And a minute to go here.
With his football team, Peyton Manning talked about it. They had a team meeting or a meeting with the coaches and said, let's move forward, and they have done that.
To Keller. Stays in the field of play inside of a minute. And these New York Jets, in this remarkable run, about to come to a close. What a promise they have down the line for more success. When you look at the quarterback and all the other positions where they're pretty well set. I remember talking to Ryan last week before the San Diego game. This is the 2 things we need. Like we wanted at the draft, we already have them. They're just hurt. Talking about Chris Jenkins and Leon Washington. You know, that's the way they look at the future. They got most of their star players under contract. Bill Callahan was the last rookie head coach to take a team to the Super Bowl. He coached the Raiders against Tampa back in the 2002 season. Callahan, the Jets assistant head coach and offensive line coach, but Caldwell now to become the 5th rookie head coach to take a team to the Super Bowl. Brad Smith down at the 37. A remarkable first season for Rex Ryan and the Jets.
It is. They established an identity with the Jets. That defense will only get better next year.
Sanchez backpedals. What will be the final play of their season. Jones down at the 45, and this one's over. The Indianapolis Colts are the AFC champions.